my screen. Are you guys able to see everything?
Yep, looks good.
Looks great.
Awesome. Well, hello, everybody. Welcome. 1 second, check everything. Okay, well, my name is Jasmine. I'm the product marketing coordinator here at Planoly. Today's webinar topic is Pinterest holiday planning, how to use Planoly and Pinterest to boost traffic and simplify your holiday season planning. Today we have a few special guests with us. We have Margot, she's the program manager from Pinterest. And then we have our very own Peyton, she's our social media coordinator here at Planoly. If you guys want to say hello.
Hi.
Hey everyone, excited to be here.
Me too.
So on today's agenda, for Pinterest, we have the power of Pinterest and Pinterest holiday predictions and trends, which Margot will be going over. And then from Planoly, we have using Pin Planner to plan your holiday campaign, optimizing and monetizing pins, and measuring success. So we're gonna go ahead and let's get started with Margot.
All right, hopefully you all can see the slides all right. Does it look good? Perfect. All right, everyone. Hi, so as mentioned, I'm Margot. I'm the program manager for Pinterest's strategic partnerships team. And I'm super excited to be here today just to talk about holiday, which has actually been in full swing on Pinterest since June and July, if you can imagine. So we've got a lot of great tips and insights that we've been collecting throughout the year. And hopefully I will leave you with some helpful tools as you think about this holiday season. So here's what I'll be sharing with you today. I'm going to start with a refresh of what Pinterest is, why you should think about us differently, and then leave you with some holiday tools and tips to activate. So in case you aren't familiar with Pinterest, I like to start at the beginning, which is just what we are. So we are a visual discovery engine, and our mission is to bring people the inspiration to create a life they love. And what's even more important is that we really want people to get outside and to actually do those things. We actually see this in pinner behavior as well. So 95% of pinners state that Pinterest inspires them and gives them ideas for their life. And 91% state that Pinterest helps them achieve their goals. So what's important to keep in mind with our mission is that the way pinners experience content on our platform is very different than the way that they process it on others. Pinners are focused on how they can take your ideas and put it into their lives. And our approach to surface a highly personalized and curated experience is really what's important. And that will be based on what pinners are engaging with and the people they follow. So if you've attended our prior webinars before, you'll be familiar with our emphasis on personal media versus social media. And that's because it's all about your personal interests on Pinterest. You're really focused on yourself and not your selfies. And you're not here to be envious about someone else's road trip across the country. Instead, you're trying to figure out how to plan your own epic road trip. You can see this even more with the type of content creators are actually currently making with our newest format, story pins, which I definitely encourage you all to apply for access if you are more on the creator side. These fun examples are just ways to turn everyday work from home moments into something fun and interesting. And then we'll touch on how your media's lifespan is a bit different on Pinterest as well a little later in the presentation. So I did want to provide you all with just the look at the latest numbers of our audience. We now reach over 416 million monthly users worldwide. And that's 240 billion pins saved and over 5 billion boards. So your audience is most likely here and they're very, very eager for your message. Some of our US audiences includes an 80% reach of moms, a 1 in 2 reach of millennials, 76% reach of millennial women, and 40% reach of millennial men. And we also have really good activity in our EMEA, Australia, and various other global markets as well. So now let's get into the fun stuff, and let's talk about holiday. I want to share some changes that we've actually noticed when we look at the market and we take sort of a larger vision of the industry and try and interpret that and see what that may mean for you. So overall, there have never been more ways to reach shoppers or ways to shop than right now. And what we've noticed with an increase of options are that the brands who are able to make their online content feel the most real life are the ones that ultimately end up standing out. There are two aspects of the shopping journey that we looked at, or the shopping experience. So one is the shopping journey, and then the other is the role of marketing within that. If you look at the customer journey from the discovery of your brand, the evaluation of your products, and then the final purchase, we don't think that process has actually changed that much with COVID. Timelines of each stage may be compressed or expanded a bit based on personal situations, but by and large, that progression hasn't changed much. What has changed meaningfully are the roles that your marketing channels play along that journey. Specifically, changes to online versus physical stores. And there's kind of a flip-flop in those cases, and we'll dig into that next. So if we start at the bottom of the funnel when purchasing moments are unfolding, e-commerce has been a tremendous accelerator of facilitating transactions over the last several months. I'm sure you've noticed stacks of Amazon boxes in your neighbor's doorsteps, because I definitely have. But on the flip side, the brick and mortar experience of many of our brands is going through a transformation. There are now 6-foot distance markers at checkout. There may be headcount limits, or in some cases, you may have to set up appointments to come into the store to transact. And some stores are even drifting away from transacting in the physical space to using it more so as a hub for shipping for curbside pickup or in-home delivery. So with all of this change, how do we best drive holiday sales? Our thinking is that the value unlock this year is really going to be at the start of the customer journey when it comes to discovery and evaluation. Traditionally, the physical store is where people have gone through the process of discovery and evaluation. If you can think back to when you could go to stores freely, just imagine you in your favorite store. You had ample time, free time on your hands. You weren't worried about how long you were spending outside of the house. You were using your senses of touch and sight, not thinking about hand sanitizer at all. And you were using all of those elements to develop an opinion of what's going to work best for you and your family. Back then, the digital side may have just been used just for transactions. So you may have gone to a website once you already knew what you wanted to buy. Our thesis now is that while digital's role in transaction has been and will continue to be vitally important, consumer behavior is now looking for more of the discovery process online. And that's really in part because it has to. So how do we influence someone who's avoiding stores? And can we help bring the art and science of physical merchandising experiences to the digital environment? So consumers can have that emotional and engaging experience browsing online that they're used to going to a store normally. It takes a lot of effort and it can sound daunting, but we do think it's possible, and we think that Pinterest has a really important role to play with that strategy. Taking a step back, we've developed this point of view because of all the data that we've seen and activity we've seen on Pinterest throughout the year. We hit and we've attained record high levels of engagement on our platform. You know, at the beginning, we've seen engagement as high as 60% year over year. And while many platforms are also seeing great engagement recently, what we think is unique to Pinterest is that, one, our platform is one that already indexes in commercial intent, meaning a lot of pinners are on Pinterest and they really eagerly want to shop the ideas like exactly the way that you've lined it out. Number two, our content is driven by brands and creators. So we are not necessarily a user generated source of content. Instead, pinners are coming for your pins and ideas. And then number three, active pinners are really generally planning ahead. So pinners are planners, if you've heard it before. And this really translates to Pinterest seeing record levels of shopping engagement with people who are planning their future purchases. And that is really exciting for us. We really can't predict the future, but as COVID constricts much of our everyday lives, there could be a sense in which people are looking forward to this holiday period as one that presents an opportunity to regain control of how we experience tradition, connection, and family. So we kind of think that people are searching ideas on how to actually do that, even back in summer. Perhaps the stakes feel higher this year with all that we've been through in 2020, and we just want our holidays to be memorable in a good way. And we're seeing people be really intentional about that, which takes time and planning ahead. So in this line graph on the left, the dark blue line is depicting Pinterest's index holiday searches, and the light blue line is the same for a leading search engine. We actually started spiking in June and July this year, whereas search engines don't really take off until December. But this year, that trend is accelerating even more rapidly than we've expected. This year, holiday searches on Pinterest started spiking in May, June, July. In the graph on the right, the bar graph, we actually saw 77% year-over-year growth really early in the year, as far back as April, on holiday search terms. And this can really be applicable to any of the major holidays in the US and even around the world, but Pinterest activity is sooner and really does outlast those of leading search engines. So our search trends kind of gets at the heart of content on Pinterest, the lifespan you see, and how Pinterest is different. Since we focus on bringing pinners highly curated, relevant experiences, your content on Pinterest is evergreen. We want to show pinners the newest ideas, but if they come searching for holiday back in June, then you can bet that we were showing them holiday content in June. So your media isn't limited to when it was posted. It's not distributed chronologically, but it's really based on the relevancy that you provide to what pinners are looking for. This means that ultimately you'll see a much longer shelf life and a slower burn of your content that you create on Pinterest. It could also mean that you should really be thinking about putting your content on Pinterest first, because as we saw before, activity tends to spike on our platform a lot sooner than on others. And that really presents a special time for you to offer your expertise, your products, or your services to people before they've even decided what they need or what they want. And we know that inspiration matters for shoppers. So 2 out of 3 people in a recent survey say that the inspiration phase helps to influence what they're going to buy. As a potential retailer or someone who's offering services, inspiration matters for you too. We've also discovered that shoppers focused on finding the perfect product for them, they do the research and they feel confident in that, they actually spend on average 20% more than shoppers who are just focused on the transactional process, purchases. So the confidence that comes from inspiration translates into real value for your business. In a study with a third-party vendor, we also found that those purchases were incremental to the conversions driven by other channels. So let's get into some of the fun stuff, which is creative activation. A lot of the success to be found on Pinterest lies within your pins and how you present your content. So I can't stress this enough, but we are a visual discovery engine. So it's more important to put some thought behind the content and pins you're creating. So how exactly do you do that? Aligning your Pinterest content with the right moments that people are searching for is super important. This includes the big moments of Christmas and Hanukkah, but it also includes the everyday moments in between. These are some stats that we've seen for ads, but they're still super supportive of this notion, which is that content aligning to moments can help your brand gain up to 10x higher branded awareness and up to 22% online sales lift. The next thing to do is to really consider the mindset of your audience. So the more that you understand your target pinner, the easier it is to create helpful content that they will act upon and really click through on. Leveraging our 2020 holiday data that we've seen throughout the year, we isolated about 6 pinner personas that may help you in structuring your content ideas and give you some good ideas. So here are those personas. So the first is an audience comprised of traditionalists. So these people want Christmas to look like it does in the movies: snow, fireplace, hot chocolate. So when you're building content for them, don't try to give them any of these new contemporary trends. They don't want to see a neon pink Christmas tree. For them, decorating is going to be all about the red and green. So how can you help them bring to life the Christmas that they know and love in spite of all the unknowns that they're experiencing? Let me just see if this is odd. All right, so maybe you're talking to decorators. For some, it's a time, so for some, the holiday is a time for presents or overindulgence on the day itself. But for many, it's about the baubles or the tinsel and the decorations. And bringing that both inside and outside of your home is super important. Maybe you're talking to the self-gifter. So the good thing is that there's no way this gift can be a flop. They know exactly what they want and they know the recipient and everything about them, at least I hope. And this year has had, a lot of ups and downs. So self-gifting can really play an important role in maintaining a healthy mindset. Layer in copy such as treat yourself to let pinners know that they deserve a gift as well and that your product or your service is the best thing for them. Maybe you're talking to the rookie online shopper. During this year, many people are actually shopping online for the first time, if you can believe it. So brands need to be ready to make sure that every customer has the best possible experience. Be clear about shipping and your return processes, and always make them feel safe, make them feel secure, and make checkout the simplest process as possible so that they feel comfortable purchasing from you online. Maybe you're talking to the next level party planner. So whether it's with work, family, or friends, it's normally a solid few months of celebrating for these people. So it may not be quite the same this year, but there's ways to stay festive and add some extra flair to your party. Can you give pinners ideas to step up their at-home game? Maybe it's around cocktails or decorations. They may not be able to go out to their favorite Christmas bars, but maybe there's a way that they can bring that experience home. And lastly, maybe you're talking to the shipping first shopper. So before any gift arrives, there's always the question of when will it get here and how much is that going to cost in addition to my budget? How can you make it easier for the pinner to shop your product and understand exactly when it'll come? Are there any dates they need to be aware of? Anything like that? Make sure that's upfront and clear to your audience. And ultimately, at the crux of our hypothesis is that creative informed by pinner behavior and insights is what's going to help your brand establish relevance. So if we pause a second to specifically look at our holiday insights, the most important thing about these insights that we saw back in June in the summertime is not that baking or decor ideas was up. That is to be expected every year, but that it was peaking really early this year and in comparison to last. So, we're really thinking about this and have asked ourselves, why is that? Why are pinners so engaged with holiday content and so soon on our platform? The reason is that we think this season is special. 2020 has been a tough year. People all over the world share that the holidays will mean more to them this year than years past. Not only will they mean more, but they will probably look different. And pinners are planning earlier than ever to cope with that unknown, which means that this holiday season, brands have the opportunity to inspire the unknown. So, one of the best things you can do for a pinner is to help them navigate this change with ideas. We can't change what's happening, but brands can help pinners react to the unknown with inspired solutions. So, here are a few thought starters for various verticals that will hopefully get your wheels turning. Again, really try to look into insights and use that within the content that you're creating. So in this case, we imagined how Christmas baking could be used by a financial services company. So maybe you inspire gift ideas on a budget so that people around the world, they're all dealing with increased financial instability due to COVID. But you know what's always a perfect gift? Some homemade cookies. The next insight is a classic. And this was spiking pretty early on our platform as well. But the holidays are a time where usually we invite people into our homes. This year, it's going to look a little different. Since we can't invite people in, we thought about how maybe an auto brand company could create a moment about getting people to experience a festive and safe car ride around their neighborhood to see the holiday lights in their comfy Christmas clothing. Once again, offering an inspired solution to the unknown. And lastly, we took a look at our trends on Christmas party outfits. So many of us are enjoying the relaxed work from home wardrobe, but that doesn't mean we can't dress up for our meetings. It can be a perfect way to shake up the routine and break up the week. What if a retail brand helped pinners cope with all the changes and differences by encouraging a classic behavior of putting together the perfect holiday outfit? Remind pinners that not everything needs to be different this year. So I really encourage you all to use our trends tool. It's a self-service tool for any business or creator to plan a Pinterest first strategy. And it helps you explore the top trending terms on Pinterest. You can understand the seasonality behind them. You can see what's trending now, but also when things peak, and then really adjust your marketing calendar to match that behavior. So to wrap, use this holiday season to inspire decisions. Find success by aligning content to the moment. Use our insights to inform what you focus on, and think outside of the box to inspire the unknown. How can you help us spark joy in a pinner's life? And if you want more inspiration, you can open our Pinterest app. I'll leave you with this photo. But essentially, if you do have the Pinterest app, you can just select the search bar and then hit the camera icon and hover over this pin code that you see, which are the colorful dots around the logo. And if you just hover over it, eventually you'll see some colorful dots swirling, and then you'll get linked to our creative strategy profile page. And they have just a bunch of boards curating some great ideas from brands in various different verticals for various different moments and seasons. So it's also a really fun profile for you to follow. And that's it for my section. I just want to say thank you again for tuning in and bearing through all the content. Hopefully it's helpful as you build your marketing strategy. And lastly, I really just want to wish you all a safe and healthy holiday season for you, your family, and your friends. It has been, I don't know about you, but for me, it's felt like a short but long year, but we've made it this far. So definitely take some time just to, treat yourself. Hopefully you're one of those gifters because you definitely deserve it. So I'm going to pass it back to Peyton, or over to Peyton for Planoly.
Oh, awesome. Thank you so much for all those insights. It really confirms how powerful Pinterest really is as a platform. All right, let me share my screen here. Let's see. Awesome. Can everyone see my screen all right? Okay. So, since Pinterest is so powerful, the best part is that Planoly has the tools that will aid you all in the process of building a presence on there as well. And so I want to walk everyone through our pin planner and the tools that come with it so you all can achieve Pinterest success. First things first though, if you haven't already linked your Pinterest account to Planoly's Pin Planner, it's super easy and can be done on mobile and desktop. And once you're all hooked up, you can start saving inspiration and planning your content. Just for a quick overview, the mobile app is great for saving inspiration on the go, and the desktop view is perfect for when you just need more of an overview of your calendar and scheduled pins at a glance on one dashboard. You can even add content from your computer, or if you're on your mobile device, you can add it from your camera roll as well, in addition to Dropbox and the Google Drive. Plus, you can even drag and drop your content into the Pin Planner library on desktop as well. It's super easy to schedule your content. Something that can actually save you a lot of time while scheduling on the Pin Planner is setting up Quick Schedule. When you set up Quick Schedule for your pins, the times that you set automatically, they will automatically populate once you're ready to post, making it quicker for you to plan your content. You can also keep up with your pin stats using Analyze, and I will be diving into more of those details here in a bit. Also, I wanted to remind you that we will be doing a Q&A at the end of this, so please leave your questions in the Q&A box and we will get to those soon. All right, here are 3 tools that you absolutely need to include in your strategies. The campaigns tool, you can easily upload pins in bulk and schedule way in advance without the need to manually pin each image. Number 2 is our Planoly uploader. It is a browser extension that you can download on Chrome or Safari to quickly schedule your content or save it for later. For example, if you're pinning images from a blog post, using the Planoly uploader can really speed up the process for getting your content out into Pinterest. Number 3 is my personal favorite, is Stories Edit. You can use this app to create beautiful pin designs, and there are so many templates that you can choose from. You can even add stickers to your creations, as well as resize your content to the perfect size for Pinterest. And once you're finished, you can easily upload your content to the Pin Planner from Stories Edit. And if you want, you can also download Stories Edit app by scanning this QR code right here. All right, now let's do a deep dive into the campaigns tool. If you have a lot of content that goes out on Pinterest, the campaigns tool is going to be your best friend. My favorite thing about this tool is that you can upload your content in bulk, and it saves me so much time. You can create and schedule as many campaigns as you'd like, and you can set up a pin title, description, and URL that you want your pins to link to in each campaign. A good campaigns example would be like a jewelry owner who created a new piece of jewelry. They can upload multiple pins and drive them all to the same product page, while also having a cohesive description and title for each pin. Give yourself the gift of time this holiday season by scheduling your campaigns in advance. And it's very easy to manage your pins within campaigns as well. Our shuffle button is where you can mix up your pins across pre-selected publishing dates and times. And you can also view your calendar and pins scheduled each day, as well as set your pins on autopilot without having to manually schedule or check in daily. Let's move on to optimizing and monetizing your pins. Here are 4 ways that you can monetize your pins this holiday. You can link your website, blog, or sell its social storefront. You can redirect to seasonal giveaways, share referral links, and even utilize affiliate links for product recommendations. You could replace your pin URL with a link of your choice. Examples could be referral links, Amazon affiliate links, or even a link to your Sell It storefront. Just to give a holiday example, creating Pinterest boards themed around holiday gift guides is a great way to monetize your content this season, while keeping all of these potential URL choices in mind. Once your pins are planned out and in the world, it's important to measure how they are going to be performing. So this is where Analyze comes in. You can access Analyze through the Pin Planner on both mobile and web, And this will give you a holistic view at your pin performance over the last 7, 30, or 90 days. We include all important metrics, impressions, saves, clicks, and more. Insights are available for your pins as well as the ones you've repinned. And make sure that you set up your Pinterest profile to a business account to get increased audience data and insights per board. So 4 things to take with you from today. As you've heard before from Margot, over 400 million monthly users are on Pinterest from around the world, and they can discover your brand or content via pins. So we know the power of Pinterest. The Pin Planner enables you to plan, schedule, and post pins to Pinterest. And you can utilize the campaigns to manage large amounts of holiday content automatically. And you can also optimize pin URLs with links to your blog, website, referral, affiliate links, and more. And I'm going to let Jasmine take it away from here.
Thank you so much, Margot and Peyton, for all of that useful information. So additional holiday resources that Planoly has for you guys is some of you guys may be familiar with our Create Your Joy holiday campaign. We also have a workstation page that's filled with inspiration, holiday strategies, and planning tips. So feel free to scan that little QR code that you see on the screen and access it through there. And then also, in addition to that, we will be giving you guys 1 free month of Planoly for you guys to link your Pinterest account if you guys haven't tried it already. So be on the lookout for an email from us this week with some more details about that.